Good evening and welcome to Wolfe County High School Esports Action. Today's matchup features your Wolves Blue versus Frankfort Independent High School. So we are so excited to bring you this matchup today. Our Wolves Blue is 4-0 and we're just so excited to see this matchup today. So let's take a look over here at our champion selection.
Maybe starting off with the band phase. What's the school we're going against?
Frankfort.
Frankfort? Okay. Yeah. Frankfort going with the Warwick Darius band, as Wolfe County goes with the Mundo and Orn band. All four of those being very strong, heavy, bruiser-type champions. We now go to Frankfort, who their last band being Zareth. So, very strong mage, very good in the mid lane, got a lot of range to him. So, taking that out makes it a little bit safer so they don't have to play so defensive. And we finish off Wolfe County with a Rise band. We now go back to Frankfort, who will be making the first pick, which it seems like they'll be starting on blue side. So, go ahead and put that out there. If they get first pick, they will lock in the Ash for their ADC. Going back to Wolfe County now, who goes with their first pick. As we're going for the top side, locking in Shen, I believe. Yep, he locks in Shen. And we now go to the second pick for the jungle for Wolfe County, who has been playing a lot of Warwick, but he got banned, so he will be going with the Nocturne instead. So we're going to have a pretty solid engage from Wolfe County's side, being two of the champions, both of them having ults that are really great for engaging. So already have that going on. Now we go back to Frankfort, who'll be locking in their second pick. As they go with the Zac pick. Zac, not a very common champion, but very strong if played well, so Wolfe County will need to watch out for that. Now go with the third pick for Frankfort, who goes with a Zoe. Zoe very strong if she gets that early lead. Just crazy amount of damage from that champion, so they'll need to watch out for that. As Wolfe County finishes off with a Katarina. Got good mobility on her part, so if she's able to dodge those sleepy bolts from Zoe, she'll have a better chance going on in that mid lane. We now go to the second band phase, starting with Wolfe County now.
So if you're just now joining us on YouTube or on Mountain Telephone TV, we want to appreciate all of our viewers out there. This is Wolves Blue versus Frankfort High School. We're in the champion selection right now, so each team gets to pick 3 champions, ban 3 champions, and then they have a second round of bans and a second round of picks. So right now they're taking turns banning their second round if you're just now joining us.
As Wolfe County does so by banning Poppy. We now go back to Frankfort, who goes with their first ban of the second phase, banning Caitlyn. We now finish off the last ban for Wolfe County, who will probably be focusing a support ban here, given that's one of the only 2 roles that hasn't been locked in yet. As they lock in the Nautilus, so it was a support ban. Now finishing off Frankfort now with their last ban. As they will probably do the same, given the last 2 roles. And they lock into Shaco, which is interesting. Shaco does have the potential to be played as support, but still a very solid ban for that. As Wolfe County goes with the Senna, the new champion released only a couple days ago, so really brave move from Wolfe County coming out with that new champion. Although Senna is very strong at the moment if she is played well. Being a new champion, not a lot of people had the ability to master her kit, but when they do, she will be very strong. As we go back to Frankfort now, who lock in the Akali, which looks like it's going to be an Akali ADC. No, sorry, it's Akali top. I forgot they locked in Ashe. And Frankfort finishing out with the Sona pick. Go back to Wolfe County now with their last pick for their support, who I will note does have his Pike available if he decides to lock him in. He's very strong with his Pike. As he goes with a Nami pick, hover. And he goes with a Nami, I guess. Very strong pick, though. Also going with that healing ability, too. So, given both teams, though, it's going to be very interesting team comps looking at what we're having to go with here. Both lanes can each lane can easily be flipped either way depending on who gets that lead because they're just so dynamic in their selections. So we'll have to be watching out for that.
Should be a great matchup, though. All right, let's take a minute here and look at our starting lineup. In today's matchup, in the top lane, we have senior Logan Creech. In the bot lane, running ADC, we have senior Jeremy McKinney, and his support is senior Dylan Profit. In the mid lane, we have senior Cameron Caskey, and in the jungle, we have senior Matt Riley. Now, we also want to take this time to thank our wonderful sponsors for our esports program, Appalachian Wireless. Hold on a second. Appalachian Wireless, Mountain Telephone, Licking Valley Rural Electric, Farmers and Traders Bank of Campton, Whitaker Bank of Campton, and Sweetheart by Stephanie of Campton, Kentucky. So thanks again to all of our esports sponsors. Now, we're going to try something new here today. We've been working hard the last few weeks to bring you this new feature to our YouTube channel and on Mountain Telephone TV. So we're going to take a live look here at our students and them playing the matchup. So this is a new feature that we're hoping to bring you moving forward so that you can actually catch a glimpse of our students playing League of Legends. So we're going to go to the match here in just a minute. We do have a spectator delay. So we will go back to our champion selection here for just a minute. Any other thoughts on the upcoming matchup, Drew?
Given what you're looking at immediately, there is a lot of burst potential coming from Frankfort, given they have an Akali and a Zoe as well. If Ashe as well gets fed, that's a very strong amount of burst from them. They do have a pretty... however, the sustain does come pretty strong in favor of Wolfe, having the Senna and Nami both having a crazy high amount of healing. Senna being a champion who's a support who can also be played ADC also gives them a major boost in that, extra vitality that they have going for them.
Click on that when it gets to a minute.
Between each individual lane, however, Shen's going to have a little bit of a disadvantage in that early game top lane, most likely, given the fact that Akali does have that extra amount of poke she can use with her Q spam. But he's most likely going to be a little bit more of a tanky build going on for him. As we go back to between the junglers, Nocturne having a pretty solid amount of burst, but Zac having a little bit extra sustain. Both champions are pretty solid in the gank department, so they do have equal pressure coming from both sides. Katarina and Zoe both very strong, very bursty AP mid laners. If Zoe lands that sleepy bubble, that she's going to have a lot of damage coming to that person that it lands on. Although Katarina, if she's landing against her, does have the advantage of being a lot more mobile than Zoe, with the ability to use her Shunpo and dashing around and about all the minions and such. Between the Ashe and Senna, there's really no decisive pick there between the two, given that Senna is such a new champion that the matchup isn't really that easily decided yet. Although Senna does have the advantage of having late game very extended range, given how her passive works. And between Sona and Nami both being pretty solid poke supports that give good healing. Either way, it can go in that, just depending on which support is able to do more for their ADC. Between team fights, it's entirely tossed. They both have good, CC and crowd control and burst, as well as peels. So either way, it'll go between them. As we now go on to the actual game itself. So let's go and pop over to that. As you can see now, the camera is still working. We do have that. It will be a nice feature. It's a very, very nice feature. It does give, the ability for you to see what you're going to be seeing with the other team, giving them a face to the players, if you will. Or a face to the champions, sorry. Let's go and check the champions' masteries. Not expecting this game to load as fast as it did last week. That was just a really good connection on both teams' parts there. So, actually, it's loading in pretty fast. Oh, yep, that was fast. That was way faster than I thought. All right, so both champions have loaded in. As I said, Frankfort will be starting on blue side. Wolfe County will be on red. As both teams have spawned, the walls have fallen, and the champions now move to their respective lanes. Being this early in the game, both teams are moving in. Nothing's going to be happening. It looks like, hopefully, it'll be a pretty safe early game. We don't expect to see any invades, as it looks like Wolfe County actually is potentially setting up for an invade. Yet we do see an invade coming from the side of Wolfe County, moving towards that bot side tri-bush. As we see Nami leading the charge, followed by Katarina and Senna. Following up shortly behind them being Shen, and finishing it up will be Nocturne. Depending on whose abilities got started, we will maybe see an early first blood in favor of Wolfe County. As it appears that Sona is falling behind. As Wolfe County does push up, they're going to stay in the bush, though, to secure that buff for their jungler. Frankfort might try and capitalize on an invade, or counter-invade, as it looks like Zach is actually moving towards his topside blue buff. He's not going to play that defensive game, or play the offensive game and lead in taking the enemy, or taking Wolfe County's red buff to counter jungle, but a pretty safe play by Zach nonetheless. As minions have now moved up to lane, buffs are spawning, and the game is about to begin. As buffs has now spawned, we see Wolfe County's ADC and support giving the leash to the jungle. Shen moving up through the topside jungle back to his lane as Zach gets his leash from his Akali. Nocturne now being level 2 might be going for that early level 2 gank, as it seems he may be doing so. It seems like there isn't any. No, he's gonna. Okay, so Nocturne does move through his jungle. The Q from Zoe landing onto Caitlyn or Katarina. They're already doing a pretty heavy amount of damage this early into the game. Something that he'll have to watch out for if he wants to be able to succeed in the late game against Zoe. See Nocturne now going for his blue buff now. Katarina taking another Q from Zoe, already almost half health at this early point in the game. We see Nami sitting in that bubble, or sitting in the bush. She's going to throw her Q out, as she does force a heal off of Nami. The E landing, going back in on Shen. We see Shen going back in, activating his Q to get that little bit of extra shield. As I said, Akali is going to have that early game poke advantage on Shen, so he's going to have to be pretty wary if he wants to play against that. Katarina Shumpo, the bubble does land on her as she Shumpos back to her minion, hopefully being shielded by those minions from getting tanking that Q. The bubble does land from Nami, as the Senna Q does connect as well onto Sona, doing a crazy amount of damage. Seeing like she didn't need to waste a flash there, though, so pretty solid play from Frankfurt's support for not having to waste that flash. Bubble thrown out there by Nami does not connect, as they both move back under their tower. They need to be wary, though. Zach is down in the bot side jungle, so there is a potential for a gank there from him.
And a lot of pressure up top lane, too, as well. Logan there. Oh, he just got to level 3.
As the E does connect, Shen does go with the taunt. It is going to connect on her, forcing him to flash. Akali does also land a Q, but within tower range, it is going to make her take a tower shot.
And bot lane putting a lot of pressure on Frankfort there. Their ADC is so strong. Wolfe County's ADC is just so strong.
Shen now playing in the pass. Shen having to play that passive game, like I said, because of that lack of range against Akali. He is going to have to play under the towers for his first few levels to get himself in a safe position. The bubble landing on both champions there from Senna, or from Nami, as the W from Senna going on to Sona does connect, forcing a flash as well from Ashe. So both of her summoner spells are currently gone. This is a good potential for the gank from Nocturne if he decides to do so. The W from Ashe connecting there onto Nami, doing a little bit of damage. Nocturne up to the top side jungle is farming out. He's going to go for that Scuttle Crab, giving a little bit of extra vision in the jungle. We see Zach is coming in mid lane potentially for a gank. Bubble does land on Ashe there again. We see Katarina again. Katarina is getting ganked by Zach. She needs to watch out. He does come over the wall as he's going to use his... She does Shumpo. The bubble connects onto the minion as she decides to go in on the Zach. Casting the Ignite, she does flash over the wall. Her Bouncing Blade does land as she does take down his passive. It looks like she's going to try and get the kill, as she's not going to be able to because... Oh, she might be able to do it. As she does secure the kill. First Blood Ignite is activated on her, though. She's going to Shumpo back using her Blade Spin. She's going to spin back, taking a little too much damage as she does trade for the kill, though. A 2-for-1 fight. Definitely in favor of Katarina there in that trade. She was able to make the best of it, as well as getting rid of that as well as fitting the 2v1, getting rid of that Zach passive, making him a little bit more vulnerable for the next couple of minutes.
And that gives Wolfe County a 1,500 gold lead and a 2-1 kill lead as well. So good trade-off there.
Definitely.
After 5 minutes here, it's still a close game, and both teams fighting with everything they've got.
Shen again moving back under his tower, trying to look for potential to maybe back. The bubble does not land on Katarina. It looked like it did, but it did not, surprisingly. We see Nocturne going back up top side jungle for his red buff now, as he does secure that. Shen playing in the top side, again playing really passive. Akali still able to get that poke here and there just a little bit, we're whittling him down. As we do see a potential, again coming in from Nocturne to the top side. He's going to throw out his Q as it does connect on Akali. The taunt landing from Shen as the E does go on to Shen. We see him coming back. She does come back. The ulti from Akali does finish off Shen. So Shen does get taken down with the use of that ultimate from Akali. So let's currently put the score as 2-2. Gold lead is still about 1,400 in favor of Wolfe County. Senna grabbing another couple of stacks for her passive there from those souls, as they're trying to take down and get the second turret plating in the bot side jungle. Mid lane being a little passive. Now Zach does come in from the gank in the bot lane. He does land onto Nami, as it looks like Shen is teleporting in with his ultimate. He goes in. The taunt lands on Akali, as Sen is able to go in also using a Q. Shen does secure the kill on him.
Wow.
It's because you tabbed out.
I know.
We do see now, again, they just continue to keep the lane pushed out. They did get a successful trade there. Zach does go back in with the slow onto him. We see the stun landing on Zach from Senna. The smite coming onto Senna to try and slow her down. We're just not going to be able to do much. She is able to now secure another one of her passive stacks from that engage. Shen now teleporting back to the top lane. Again, I wanted to say that was a very good engage, very solid use of that ultimate from Shen. They're able to give his ADC a little bit that extra vitality, able to secure the kill and give him a little bit more of an advantage in his lane now, making it a little bit easier of a matchup for him. The W from Ashe there does connect onto Senna, as Senna does grab her next passive stack. Shen going in, he uses his Q activated with his E. Senna does go back in with the dash. We see Nocturne coming in over the wall in the counter gank jungle from him against Zach. He does take Zach down with another kill. Wolfe County now currently up 4-2 with a 3,000 gold lead. Katarina playing in the mid lane now, being a little more aggressive now, knowing that the Zach is currently down. So she does have that bit of knowledge to her. Let's go ahead and check real quick the score difference between the teams. In the top lane, Akali is out farming Shen, like I said before, her range giving her the ability to do so. Between the junglers, Nocturne having a double the CS lead of Zach right now, in a very good position there. Katarina also with a whopping double CS lead of 30 in the mid lane against the Zoe. The ADC for Wolfe County as well with a tremendous lead of 62-19 over the Ashe for the bot lane. And the supports as well. Sona does have a support, or have a minion kill, which was probably accidental from her Q. As we now go back, it looks like based on this comp, Shen would probably be advised to build him a little bit of magic resist given what he's laning against, but he should be fine with how his kit is working. So the E does land onto Shen. Katarina coming up to the top side for a gank from the mid lane. Akali uses her W in the bush. She decides to go in. Shen does land the taunt. Akali getting the ult, or Kai's getting the ult off. We see the ult from Senna shot up towards top lane as Katarina's going to take some damage. She's getting attacked by Zach. She's going to go back in. The ult from Akali again. The Shumpo, she goes back on Akali. She's going to do it as she does secure the kill on Akali. Crazy damage there. She does go back between her bouncing blades. Does not manage to get the kill there on Zach, however, but does get a successful kill on Akali. So a good rotation by the mid laner for Wolfe County there. Nami and Senna just having a consistently dominant laning phase right now. They're able to put overwhelming pressure on the bot lane for Frankfort. They really need to capitalize, or Frankfort does really need to to capitalize on that push by getting those engages, getting their jungler down there to put some pressure on Wolfe Canny's ADC and support to get them moved back so their ADC is able to scale up better. So Akali does get back to the lane. She does so by sorry. Akali teleports up to top lane now, getting back into lane. Shen's ability to free farm now is kind of gone for the next few minutes. As Senna gets another stack. We see an engage from Katarina here. The bubble landing on her or activating a little too late as she uses her Shumpo. Zac is coming towards mid lane now, looking for a gank. The bubble from Nami there landing on a couple of minions. Shen again playing super passive in that top lane. Very safe and doing a pretty good job at playing safe, so credit given to him. As we see now, the bubble connecting onto the edge of Katarina. She does go in with the Shumpo, as well as the Ignite activated from Zoe onto Katarina. Katarina's going to try and get over the wall, as she does get a face tank, or end up face tanking the Q from Zoe. A little bit of bad positioning there on her part, getting over that wall, but she's able to make the best of it. As we see Nami getting it by the Sona ulti, but maybe making the best of it by throwing her bubble out just before doing so, able to completely nullify whatever attack they were going to throw down at her. So good play there on, as we see now, Akali does land the E on Shen. She could potentially go for a tower. Yeah, she decides not to go for the tower, for the tower dive. Sorry. Zac now on his bot side jungle, going for his Krugs right now. Wolfe Canny having that consistently dominant pressure in the bot lane still. Katarina moving up towards the mid lane. Nocturne now moving towards his bot side jungle. His blue buff currently not there. He might have just got it, I believe. Zac now moving through the top. They do have vision of Zac, so they will want to watch out for that. As a few off, Nocturne activating the ulti. The bubble landing onto Zac as Nocturne's able to get rid of the again take down Zac's passive, giving the kill to Senna. So, good play on them. We do see Katarina now currently sitting inside the bush. She's going to go for that tower dive now. We see a 4-man tower dive. Nami with the ulti. Going to land on both of the champions as Katarina is able to ult and burst down the Sona, giving Nocturne the kill on the Ashe. So a good 4-man invade there from Wolfe Canny. No one got killed in the process from Wolfe Canny. So definitely they came out victorious on that engage. Let me check something real quick as we do check. Senna does have 29 stacks, so her range has increased. That is one thing I'm going to point out to the viewers out there. Senna's a champion that has a really rather unique passive. Periodically, you've seen those ghost-looking things that have been popping up in her lane and such that she's been grabbing. Each of those gives her a stack, and after she hits every 20 stacks, she gets an ability boost. Extends the range for auto attacks, as well as her critical strike, her attack damage, and her lifesteal after she gets so much critical strike built. So, a very strong champion in the late game, and she's definitely making use of that champion's damage in the early game. So, she should have a very strong late game. As I did want to point out, Akali did get taken, or not Akali, but Katarina did get taken down by Zoe there. The bubble landed as well as the Q, with just enough damage from Zoe there to burst her down. The score is currently, though, 8-4 with a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Wolfe Canny, as well as a tower in their favor from that bot lane. And a dragon. Sorry, they do have a mountain drake in their on them as well. We do see Wolfe Canny now going in. The W does miss from Senna. Sona ulting the both of them. Nami going to come in with that thing. We see the Senna ultimate coming down. Able to finish off. Nami throws the ultimate. Does land on Ashe. She throws the bubble. The bubble also connects. We see Senna coming in from the back. Nami just poking down that ADC. So actually managing to end up securing the kill herself. We do see an ult from Shen onto Katarina. Zac using an ult to try and save his top laner, but not before Shen and Nocturne and Katarina also go in on Zac, just completely take him out of that fight, completely bursting him. It looks like they're not going to stop there. They're going to try and maybe go back top to see if they can group up and take out the Akali, if they're going to be able to do so. As they're not able to, because she is able to back safely in time before they're able to get to the top lane. Zoe trying to do a little bit of something to deter them from getting up to that top lane, but not going to be much as she's able to move back to mid lane without anything going on. What you see Wolfe Canny does now decide to go for the Rift Herald. There are currently, as Katarina does, move back to her mid lane, Nocturne and Shen going for that Rift Herald. We see the E coming from the bot lane in ADC with the bubble does land, as well as the W. Katarina coming with the Shumpo with the auto attack as well. Crazy burst damage from her does secure the kill on Ashe. Meanwhile, Wolfgang does secure that Rift Herald, giving it to Nocturne as he moves back towards mid lane. Probably going to go ahead and maybe potentially drop it there. Zac does jump in. The stun missing Zac, but landing on the minion just in front of him. Senna taking some crazy damage from that tower because she did get her auto attack off onto him there, getting that tower aggro. We do see the ultimate or the teleport coming in from Shen in the top lane now. Nocturne coming close, potentially looking for an ult onto the Kali. We see we see Wolf County's mid lane support and ADC going down on Zac. Nami does fall to the tower, but does not give the kill to their jungler, as Katarina is able to secure that kill. Akali now moving down towards mid lane. We see Nocturne being followed. Senna coming up. Zoe does have vision. The bubble does land on Senna as she flashes out away, trying to get away. The bubble, their Q does not land. The W is thrown from her. We see Nocturne with that auto attack. Senna's going to try and hit the kill as Katarina Shunpo's in and is able to secure that kill very easily on the Akali. Score is currently 14-4 now with Wolf County having a 9,000 gold lead in their favor. With 2 towers in their name as well. Nocturne decides to spawn the Rift Herald in the mid lane now. Going to try and secure that second mid lane tower, which they should be able to secure very easily. The bubble does land, but not before the Rift Herald is able to completely destroy that tower in one shot. Rift Herald now going in for that second hit on that mid lane tower for the inhib tower. We do see it does get taken down, sadly, but not before absolutely chunking that inhibitor tower. Akali now teleporting into the top lane behind Shen. Shen needs to watch out because he is going to get caught behind. He needs to. He's going to try and run away now. He does land the taunt as well as the Q. Akali continuously going in on him. The E misses and lands on the thing. We do see an ultimate from Akali. She's going to try and go in. She does. It looks like she ults away now, being safe. Nami with the ultimate from behind the river, and is not going to be able to connect as Akali is able to sidestep it. We see 4 of them. The Zoe, Zac, and Sona all rotating up. The bubble does land on Nami, as Nami does get hit with the E. It looks like Akali is potentially going to go back in, as she does go back in. Flash forced from the Nami, as the ultimate from Senna from downrange is able to give her that little bit of extra health. Shen does land the taunt on them, not before Akali is able to finish her off with the Q, though. Akali does able to, as well, get her E and dash back onto Shen to secure a double kill. So a very solid attempt from Wolf Canada there, trying to preserve a very, very bad situation, but not before Sally. Oh, and the bubble does land on Senna, but not going to be able to do very much as Zoe was a little too far back to be able to capitalize on that bubble. Akali was able to get a little bit of damage off with her Q. As we now go back down to Nocturne, who is going to solo the dragon. He does have his Katarina on the way, though. So Katarina and Nocturne are currently going for the dragon, which is at the moment another mountain drake, I think, or a cloud. Yep, mountain. Wolf County does able to secure their second mountain drake now, giving him a pretty large power spike, as Zac going for his jungle camps now. The majority of Frankfort has backed and are now moving back out to their lanes. Zac moving back towards mid lane. Nocturne clearing out the bot side jungle for Zac. As it does seem now that both teams are going to start grouping back up in mid lane. Senna and Shen a little behind. Shen doesn't have his ultimate now, so he doesn't have the ability to engage on with them yet. As well as Senna not having her ultimate. Katarina does get her ultimate off, but not before being hit with the bubble. Zac's passive is taken down. The bubble connecting onto Nami, as Nocturne is able to ult and secure that kill on Zac. Yeah, ulted earlier, sorry. Wolfgang now going to be able to take that first inhibitor tower for the mid lane now, putting their lead at a 4-0 tower lead. Katarina is going to go in with the side. She's going to land the bubble. The bubble is going to hit onto her as she shumpos back to her team, getting her back in safe distance. The auto attack from Nami there is going to be able to secure the kill on Ashe. Senna already having a very large range to her already. Just say right there's another example of her using those, or ghost passive. As Wolf can now all entirely move up to the topside jungle, looking to secure that first top lane tower. Not before giving the blue buff to Senna. really quick, it's about to hit the 20-minute mark in the game as Wolfe is up now over 10,000 lead in their favor with 4 towers and 2 dragons. The 16-6 lead. We're going to point out the scores really quick before anything major happens. Collie currently sitting at 3-2 with a 25 CS lead over, or 20 CS lead over Shen, who is currently sitting at 1-2. Has played very solidly for having to play so passive. As well as Nocturne sitting with that double the CS lead. Oh, we are going to have some action. Katarina does get the ultimate off on 4 people now. Senna with the ultimate as well, coming down, able to secure the kill. Katarina does get her shun pull off, securing a double kill on Zoe. Ash and Zach being the only 2 left alive now, having to send her to that tower and defend. As Wolfgang waits for another wave to push up, they decide to rotate up towards Baron as they are going to go secure the Baron. Now I want to point out that the jungler is still up for Frankfort, so they do have the potential to get it, but they're not going to be able to do so. They have to go back and defend now. Wolfgang, just all 5 of them grouped up on that Baron, are going to be able to secure completely uncontested, as that now gives them a massive spike in their push potential. All now backing. As the entirety of Frankfort now having to defend, push that mid lane wave back out. Let's go back to the scores really quick. You see Zach's currently sitting at 0-6, with Nocturne's 4-0 and 6. Nocturne having a lot of pressure on all the lanes this game. Very solid work from Nocturne. Zoe playing a pretty decent game with a 3-3 score, with down only 30 CS to Katarina's 10-3 score. Though Katarina does have a large kill lead against her opponent. Ash sitting with a 0-4 score behind the 2-0-11 Senna. Senna not having as many kills, but playing the fact that she's playing an ADC who is also mainly known as a support does sort of, give her that a solid excuse as to why she doesn't have as many kills, because she has a lot of kill participation, putting a lot of work in for her team, giving people like Nocturne and Katarina those kills. As well as the Senna, or the Nami as well with her 10 assists. So a lot of team play coming in from that bot lane, putting in that extra effort to help out the rest of the team.
Wolfgang making a huge push here down mid lane, trying to take out those last 2 towers before the Nexus.
The bubble does connect onto Ash as she's forced to flash. Katarina using her gunblade to secure that kill, popping her Zhonya's as well. Although she might get out, she's able to Shumpo away, forcing the flash. Senna using the ultimate to give Katarina that extra bit of vitality. The ult from Akali coming to the side, not be able to hit anybody with it. As she's able to, Wolfgang's able to sidestep that. They are now pushing up. They're going to try and go for this first Nexus tower. Senna doing a ton of damage. The ult from Sona landing on 4 people as Zac decides to ult in. Akali coming in from the side as well with a dash. Nocturne activating his ultimate as he's able to use it to secure the kill on Akali. The the Q thrown out from Zoe. They're not going to be able to connect with anybody. Katarina Shenpoing immediately after, popping that kill on Zoe as Senna secures a kill with her Q on Ash, giving the victory to Wolfgang with a 25-7 score.
And the Wolves Blue come away victorious against Frankfort Independent High School. Exciting matchup here. So let's take a look here at our post-game stats. We can see that the Wolves Blue went 25-8 with 50 assists, and wow, a lot of good stats here. Let's see. Yeah. You want to do it?
You can do it fine.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we are joined here with our player of the game, Cameron. Congratulations, good job there. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
It was a fun game. It was definitely one of our harder games of the season.
Yeah. The top lane definitely put some pressure on Logan. Mm-hmm. Both teams, went at it the entire matchup and stuff. So what was the turning point that you all felt confidence that you all had to win?
Probably whenever we got the first dragon, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I believe we got a couple eliminations, and then we went dragon and pushed out a couple lanes, and it helped a lot.
So you got the Rift Herald and you got the Baron in that matchup, which is 2 critical aspects of a match. If you get that, it definitely gives you some momentum and stuff. So, any other final thoughts?
We had a good game. Everybody played well. Logan did well, not letting Macaulay get ahead too far, and everybody did well.
All right, good job. Well, congratulations and thank you. So we will be back here in just a few minutes for game number 2 between Wolves Blue and Frankfort High School. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We had a little issue at the beginning. The stream was set to private, so if you missed out on the beginning of that, I apologize. Hopefully that you can go back and check that out. But the next round should be set to public, so our YouTube channel should be able to be visible by everybody. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.